Hey, welcome. This is my review of the Profish GT. This is the four-wheel drive of the Viking fleet. I'm going to show you how I'm using it to get the most out of this kayak and my adventures on the water. So the Profish GT is 3.6 meters long and 82 centimeters wide. It's not a big kayak, but it comes with a lot of features. Now I'm going to start with one of my favorite features, which is the tackle pod system. So the tackle management on this kayak is fantastic, just like the Profish Reload. The tackle pod drops in and out, so you can load and go in the back of your car when you're loading up or when you're unloading. If you're staying overnight somewhere, it's really easy to set yourself up for the next session. And everything's contained inside this pod, including your fish finder, transducer, battery, and everything you need. The style of fishing I'm doing with the Profish GT often sees me needing to take more tackle. So if I'm freshwater fishing for barramundi and bass over here in Australia, I'll take a few extra tackle boxes just so you've got options, because you need to change things up. The chill pod is a great addition, another load and go system which you drop in and out of the back of the kayak. It will carry a lot of gear. I can put multiple tackle boxes in there and all my extra gear as well. That fits everything I need. So that would be my number one feature of the Profish GT. If you're looking for a kayak that can manage all your tackle, this is certainly a kayak that can do that. And it's all nice and central and easy to access. The second favorite thing about the Profish GT is its stability and maneuverability. So it's only 82 centimeters wide, but with the hull shape, with the pontoon style hull and a nice full volume on the bow and the low set seat position, you're achieving the similar stability of a kayak that's up to 1 meter wide, but you don't have to have that extra width, which creates more drag and inefficiency. There's just enough rocker in the hull, which gives you that extra bit of maneuverability, but you've got all that extra stability. So if you're in tight water or running, flowing water, you can turn this kayak really easily. It doesn't come standard with the rudder, and often you might not need the rudder, but it is a good feature to have. As with all the Profish kayaks, they come rudder ready, so you can just drop your rudder on. You don't need to take it to a specialist store to do it. And it's the Viking Angler rudder system, which is a weedless rudder system. You're not going to tangle lines, you're not going to snag up on weeds, and you can easily drag it over rough ground without worrying about damaging that rudder. This is so easy to stand in this kayak, it's that stable. With that full volume up the bow and the pontoon style hull with your great secondary stability, and you've got initial stability here, means when you're standing, all that volume is displaced at the front of the kayak, so there's no worry about you feeling tippy. First time kayak fishermen might wonder why you'd want to stand. Standing and sight casting is a really cool feature when you're actually looking for fish that are hiding in structure against weed or under trees, or drifting along sandbanks. If you can stand, you can see that little bit further ahead of you, which means you've got a better chance of sneaking up on the fish. I can also throw the cast net off this kayak. It's incredibly stable to just drift over top of bait or prawns if you're looking for prawns. And drop your cast net on them, then drop your live bait straight into the live bait well. I didn't talk about that before. One of the cool things about this tackle pod system is I can run the second pod, and in the Profish GT I will run the live bait pod on occasions. Take this pod out, put the second pod in, and that means all my live baits can stay contained in this tackle pod. The efficiency over distance, it's only 3.6 meters and quite wide, so fundamentals of wider, shorter kayaks usually mean they're a little slower. This gets through the water fast enough, depending on what kind of fishing you're doing. Nice big solid carry handles to pick it up and throw it on the roof. Easy to car top, easy to transport, easy to store. And it's an extremely tough kayak. When you get close to one of these and touch and feel it, you can just see how strong and rigid this is, but it's still under 30 kilos. It's only 26 kilos, so that's relatively light for such a wide, solid kayak. The storage at the front is fantastic with this huge oval hatch. I usually just drop my trolley straight in there or my cast net. It's great if you're into camping. I've got a lot of gear inside this big hatch. So number one feature that I love about the Profish GT is its tackle management. Number two would be stability and maneuverability. Number three is comfort. So it's got a nice low seat position. As with my Profish Reload, I'm just using the foam seat. The kayak does come with a nice high backrest seat if you prefer that. The lower lumbar support moulded into this kayak is adequate enough for me for comfort over long periods on the water. One of the number one questions I get asked is, can you take the ProFish GT offshore? You certainly can. It's incredibly stable. It can carry all the gear you need. In the surf environment, which most people know me for going through a lot of surf, you can take this through the surf, just pick your days. It's certainly not the same hull as a nice long sleek like the ProFish Reload, which will punch through the surf a lot easier and be easier to come back through the surf. It's a very different hull, so you need to spend some time getting used to it, but it can be done. When they first launched the ProFish GT, I was lucky enough to get my hands on one of the first out of the mould, and I took it straight to the beach and tested it out to see how it can handle. These are probably not conditions I'd normally take the ProFish GT in, but you can see here that it's quite capable, and with the right experience and planning, you'll certainly get out the back and chase the fish you're after. I generally, if I'm going to use this offshore, I'll be using it on a mothership. It's a great compact kayak to throw on the back of a boat and jump off the boat onto the kayak because it's really easy to do it. And your pods just drop straight in, and you're only paddling a short distance to get amongst some fish. Now the ProFish GT is perfect for the Bixby motor. Why I say that is it's a kayak that you can be completely hands-free, and the style of fishing when you want to be casting a lot of lures or trolling lures hands-free, this is the right kayak for it. It's nice and compact. The Bixby just drops onto the back of that rudder, and you can be hands-free manoeuvring around here like you see me at Lake Mondrian chasing barra, completely hands-free, zipping between the wood, looking for the fish. Having the Bixby on there allows you to hold yourself in the wind or the current, so then you can continue to fish without having to anchor up. I'll be dropping a review of the Bixby electric motor very soon, and I've done it with the ProFish GT because that's the perfect kayak to match it with. So that's a wrap on the Viking Kayak ProFish GT. I hope you got everything you needed to know out of that. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate. Just kind of covered what I like about it and how it helps me. You'll no doubt have lots of questions regarding the way you want to use it. See you on the water.